A hacker went through a lot of trouble just to make sure that people could play Counter-Strike only on his servers.
So almost 20 years, and for some reason we're still hearing about Counter-Strike malware?
Yes, so I guess I can't pass this story up because it's got two interesting things from when I was growing up, Counter-Strike,
Right.
and from when I'm growing up right now, malware. So apparently there's like this underground economy for playing Counter-Strike. So if you have like a Counter-Strike server, which is where people connect to play the game, and you're hosting, you can have like special privileges that you could sell. Like for example, you could sell the privilege of not getting banned or special power-ups or something like that. So a lot of people are able to make money this way. It's a sustainable business model for some small-time operators. So this one guy has figured out a way to drive traffic to him, even through Steam. So he found vulnerabilities, like remote execution vulnerabilities. So when you connect to a server, one of his servers, you basically get a little component downloaded down to you. And that component, it can actually like replace the list of proxies that you would normally go to, and it could start making it so that you're starting to always go to this person. So you're persistently playing Counter-Strike on just these servers. What was interesting is how much effort the person had to go through in order to figure out these vulnerabilities. You had to reverse engineer this game, find these vulnerabilities, set up the infrastructure to deliver these payloads, all to keep people inside of your like server infrastructure. If you think about it a different way, they could have done a lot more, or this person could have done a lot more with the capability that they had on people's machines.
I thought it was also kind of interesting too that that I think he modified both the legitimate and the pirated copies of the game. So people were it didn't really matter.
Exactly.
Right.
And which always helps me to remember. Well, never downloaded pirated versions of anything, because they're always guaranteed to have a little bit more of something extra in there. And in fact, I think the pirated version, I think if I read it correctly in the article, it also had its own vulnerabilities, which he found as well. So he found vulnerabilities in the pirated version as well.
It doesn't matter where you get the software from. If you touch his servers, you will probably end up with this vulnerable payload in your system.
Now, the good news about this particular, article or news story is that Dr. Web, this AV company, they did work with the domain registrar where a lot of this infrastructure was hosted, and they were able to get all of that taken down. So this thing is taken down now. You can't download the components anymore. The problem is, I don't think it's as easy to work with, the software, because you got to patch that. And I think some of these vulnerabilities were kind of known for a while, and still haven't been patched. And I definitely recommend that anybody who's interested in like reverse engineering and figuring out how some of these things work, check out the write-up, because it had a lot of really good detail in it. Like there was data structures, and it really showed you the flow of the malware. So it's really good for somebody who's interested in learning more about reverse engineering and how malware works. If you do hear about a story that concerns the product you use, take action. Maybe patches, make sure your AV is up to date and things like that. Just make sure you have personally a layered approach to catch as many bad things that could potentially be targeting you.